Hey everyone, GOTLG fan here, and welcome back to another video. So today, welcome back to r/EntitledParents. I can't wait to get back into the subreddit. So the first story I have is, my family disowned me 15 years ago, complete no contact. Now all at once, they want back in my life and are stalking me. I finally confronted them. That is a hell of a title. Disclaimer, part of this is from a post from r/am I a butthole that was removed, then added to the events of today. I don't know if this goes here, I just needed to get it out. I confronted them today. I can't stop crying or shaking, I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with me right now. I'm finally calming down a little to get this done. I'm a 36-year-old male that got into some trouble 15 years ago. I take all the responsibility for this, and even to this day I carry all the shame, guilt, and embarrassment. Also, this might come up. This is not cultural or religion, it's just shame to the family name. The situation, when I was 19, my ID was stolen and being used in another state, and created a situation where my driver's license was suspended nationwide. Somehow, any and all notifications from the other state never made it to me. I started doing all the necessary things I needed to do to try to fix the problem. However, I had a couple of tickets in my current state that I needed to pay but couldn't because I needed to pay my rent and keep my apartment. Also, at the time, my full-time job was having problems and was borderline shutting down. So to try to make ends meet, I was doing a lot of freelance work as well. Again, my fault. I knew the company was in trouble, but I was holding out hope that things would get better. I was hoping that a couple more freelance jobs, I would be able to pay the tickets finally. This was never the case, and long story short of it, I was arrested and had to spend 2 weeks in jail. Not ideal, but I guess in the long run it worked out for the best by clearing the tickets in my home state. However, my family felt otherwise. I was completely disowned because of this. I lost everything and everyone. The only reason I still had my apartment was because I had enough to cover rent and the freelance work kept up. It took another 6 months, but I was finally able to get another state to release my driver's license. I decided that since my family hated me, I didn't need them. So a year later, I changed my last name, phone number, and email. My social media is locked down so tight you would think I was hiding social security secrets. I was able to finish college and get settled into my career, and at this point I'm happier than I've ever been. Enter current time, and 2 weeks ago there was a knock at my door, and it was my parents. Again, it had been 15 years and I hadn't spoken to them, not one word. The only thing I could get out of my mouth was, "How did you find me and what are you doing here?" My mom's response was, $5 grand to a PI. Finally, a search of Facebook with just your name found you and PI confirmed it was you. I responded, "You didn't answer my second question. What are you doing here?" My mom again. "It's been 15 years. Looking at where you are, it seems you've learned your lesson and you are succeeding. You missed a lot of things." I ended with, "Yes, I have learned my lesson. One of them is don't think anyone will ever help you or be understanding, even your family. And yes, I did succeed, and I did it entirely without you. Please leave and don't ever come back." I shut the door in their face, locked it, and checked the back door and closed all the curtains. I'm guessing they hung around for another 15 minutes, knocking and demanding to be let in. I went back to bed, turned on the fan on high, and went back to sleep. I did some research, and I have missed out a lot. I have nieces and nephews, brothers and sisters-in-laws. But the truth is, I don't know any of them, and I don't think I need to. I live a very quiet life. I can count on two hands how many friends I actually have. A friend said I may have taken it too far, that I should have given them a chance. If I didn't like what they say, then I could have told them to go away. I was hoping that this is going to be the end of it, but no, they have taken to stalking me. I'll be completely honest, they're harmless, but just a real pain in the ass. I've also been messing with them and having some fun with the help of a friend. He now calls them fleas and will check on me, asking if I have fleas or not. It's kind of funny. If I say yes, then it's game on. The first night he came over and we walked down to a really expensive restaurant I knew they were never going to go to. Another night we went down to the porn store. It was the best one. This past week, all the way my days off fell, I had a 5-day stretch. So I decided to go to the city for a few days. I'm walking distance to the Amtrak station and they followed me. I kept my AirPods in the whole time and I know they were trying to talk to me. I ignored them the entire time. People on the platform were even telling me that they were talking to me. And I said I know, but I didn't want to deal with them. The train came, I got on and left them to watch. I loved it. I got to the point I finally had to acknowledge them. They weren't going to go away, so we met at the park across from my apartment. I didn't hold anything back. I told them this was the one and only time I was going to talk to them. I took a page from the Matlock series and told them I was their judge. I was their jury. Thank you, Olympia Lawrence. Then I told them that as far as I was concerned, they were guilty of anything and everything, and all I was doing was hearing what they had to say before I walked away from them. I asked them that why after 15 years are they demanding to be back in my life, and why they made the decisions they did to disown me. They told me that I ruined the family name and that the shame I brought to the family was horrible, and that this was the only way to make it right to get rid of me. They said that recently my name has been coming up in conversation and said that the family has grown with a lot of people. That brother and sister-in-law were asking questions about who is Brindley. That I have a niece who they think I would love and get along with. And the same for a nephew who was born last year and now should be able to fix things, or should be time to fix things. This story is so hard to read. Why am I having trouble with this? They said that looking at my apartment and the life I had, that I must have learned my lesson about being a better person and managing my life better. I finally cut them off and told them that I couldn't stand to hear anymore. I was at the point where I could hear my heart beating in my ears. I told them that I did everything completely by myself. Nobody from that life exists anymore, not one person. That they just needed to tell everyone the truth, that I was in jail for 2 weeks, and because of this decision was made to get rid of me. I told them that I did it all on my own, and that my one cousin Jean, who is my cousin by marriage, was the one who was there for me, hence why I took her last name. I told them that to this day I'm doing everything on my own and rely on nobody and don't need or want them in any way of my life. They made their decisions and I'm making mine. I told them this will be the last time we talk and that I will be going to see a lawyer to see if there was anything that could be done to keep them away from me, and that if they would continue following me around or show up at my apartment, I would have them arrested for trespassing. And then I went back home again and locked everything down, pulled down the curtains, and have been crying since. Wow. Your family, everybody in your family is a dick. So if I read this on r/am I the butthole, I would give you 0 out of 5 buttholes. And I would give your family 5 out of 5 buttholes. Next story. It was a short one. My aunt asked me to give my graduation money to her son. Family helps family. So, this just happened last year. I graduated from UNLV, I'm guessing University of Las Vegas. Nothing huge, just a small backyard thing with some friends and family. I got like $500 total in cards from people, some cash, a couple of gift cards, super appreciated. Next day, my aunt, my mom's sister, calls me and goes, "So, you gonna share some of that money with Jordan?" Jordan's her 20-year-old son who dropped out of college last year and hasn't really been doing much. I laughed at first, thought she was messing around, and she was dead serious. She said something like, "You know he's been struggling, and you're lucky to graduate. It'd be nice if you passed some of that along." I told her no, it was a gift for me. She got weird and said I was acting brand new and hung up. Then she told my mom I was selfish, and my mom just said, "Maybe your kid should graduate first." Yes. The whole thing was so weird. I haven't heard from Jordan either. Wow. Wow, OP. That's amazing. Alright, next story. I'm just going to be rapid firing through these. My mom keeps giving myself away to guests without asking me. I went home for the holidays and noticed my favorite sweater was gone. My mom casually says, "Oh, I gave that to your cousin. You never wear it." Same thing happened to my books, makeup, even my charger and my old phone. I'm not being petty. It's just not hers to give. And when I say anything, she acts like I'm materialistic. No. I just don't like being looted like a free boutique. Am I the wrong one? No, OP, you're not the wrong one. Your parents are the wrong ones. Especially that bitch of a mom. Next story. My sister said I owe her because I have more money now. You don't owe your sister shit. Anyway, I got a better paying job this year. I worked hard and saved, and finally felt stable. Suddenly, my sister, who's always been financially reckless, keeps making comments at me like, "You're rich now, you got this," whenever the bill comes. Last night, she straight up told me I owe her for sticking with me when I was broke. What? I didn't realize friendship or familyship came with a tab. I don't mind helping sometimes, but this guilt tripping is making me want to disappear. The first comment says, "Yeah, lol, no." Yep. Exactly. Next story. Another short one. There's a lot of short stories in this subreddit today. I told my mom I couldn't afford to help her this month. Now she's telling the family I've abandoned her. Fucking bitch. She's relied on me financially since I got my first paycheck. I've paid bills, bought groceries, and even covered her rent. More than once. But this month, I'm tight. I told her gently that I couldn't help, and suddenly she's calling relatives to saying that I have changed. And that I don't care about family anymore. I've given everything I can, even when I had nothing left for myself. The one time I say no, I'm a villain. I didn't abandon her, I'm just trying to survive too. You know, OP, your mom is jealous and selfish. Next story. By the same OP. Really? The last two stories were by the same OP. Okay. That's cool. My brother expects me to give him rides everywhere. I don't even own a car anymore. I sold my car last year to save money and reduce stress. I made it work with public transit and ride shares, but my brother still texts me constantly asking for rides. Last night he asked if I would pick him up from the airport at 2 a.m. I reminded him that I don't have a car, and his response? Well, you could rent one or take a cab and ride back with me. As if my time and money exists for his convenience. He treats me like a personal driver, even when I made it clear that I physically can't drive him. And when I say no, I'm selfish. It's like being family means I'm obligated to chauffeur forever. The first comment says, brother, what part of I don't have a car don't you understand? Asking me to rent a car or pick you up is entirely unreasonable. Get yourself a cab or Uber. Oh, here's a longer story. Mother-in-law making my miscarriage about her. Oh, Lord. Lord, have mercy on this person's soul. I, a 25-year-old female, and my fiance, 25-year-old male, found out we were pregnant in early January. We unfortunately miscarried and found out the baby had no heartbeat on February 26. Oh, man. For about 2 weeks after that, I was physically going through a miscarriage, which meant bleeding a lot, passing the rest of the fetal remains, such tissue, and mentally being distraught. I cried for a week straight. I lived in a different state from our family, so we were basically going through this alone. I'm so sorry for you, OP. As soon as we found out about the miscarriage, my fiance told my parents, then told his mother. His mother was excited about becoming a grandmother and whatnot. I'm not sure how the phone call went, but presumably went fine. However, the next day he was receiving text messages from distant family members sending their condolences or whatnot. Immediately, we knew she was telling people. I told my fiance that he could at least tell his dad, parents are divorced, and siblings before his mom gets to them. Once he called them to tell the news, they already knew. Everybody. This honestly pissed me off. I don't think it's her place to share the news, and also, she never texted me. She never called me back to ask how I was doing or anything. I felt like something so personal that I was experiencing was reduced to basically some sort of gossip. My fiance texted her, "Why are you telling everybody?" And she just ignored the message. She never tried to call him either. He decided to just ignore her as well, because she would text him periodically random stuff like her flight info if she was flying. But again, it was just random stuff. Whatever. Fast forward to a few weeks ago, we decided to plan our wedding since we've been engaged for 3 years. I sent our save the dates, which she has not responded or asked us about. I felt that this would be the perfect opportunity for her to reach out and be like, I don't know, a mother. A couple of days ago, she FaceTimes my fiance, but he was working, so he called her back the next day. We thought she was finally going to ask about the wedding or say maybe sorry. Nope. She was calling because she was on vacation and wanted to show him some stuff. This annoyed my fiance, and he said, "Oh, I thought you were going to apologize." And she said, "I never saw that message." My fiance said, "Okay, well, you still told everyone when it wasn't your place to." And she said, "I only told your dad and your sister." Which was a complete lie, since distant family on her side were texting us. My fiance hangs up because he can't take the lies. She texts him, "You know what? I'm so sorry that you feel some type of way or some type of victims, because I feel the way I feel about losing the excitement of being a grandma. It's unfortunate that you feel the need to punish me for my feelings. These are your choices. I'm not a bad person. Clearly you feel otherwise. That is your opinion. Sorry for being what you expect on a mother. Ma'am? We're kind of the victims? Does she really think she's the victim? Whatever she felt, we felt it 20 times more. At this point, I really hope she doesn't make it to the wedding because she's just drama. It's incredible how some people are. Edit, she's done so many things that I can go on about, but just so you all can get the general idea, she has an identical twin sister that she hasn't spoken to in 3 years because her twin could not take her to the airport one day. Oh my god! I need a follow-up on this story. Okay, next story. Excuse me, your kid touched my ass. I, 16 female to male, ooh, 16 trans, nice. Went out yesterday with my boyfriend, 17 male, his mom, 47 female, and a few other family members to this tourist spot in my town. A very underfunded tourist spot. That is obvious only locals go there. There's a small train there, mostly for kids, that my boyfriend's mom got us tickets for. We were the first in line for the train to come back, but out of nowhere, I felt a small hand grasp my right butt cheek. I look over to see this little kid with his hand full of ass let go and walk toward his mother. I felt uncomfortable. I told his mother, because you'd usually expect a parent to want to know what if their little kid touched a random stranger. Excuse me? The kid's mom looks at me. Your kid touched my ass. Excuse me? He's 4. Yeah, he's still touched my ass though. I'm visibly uncomfortable at this point. I honestly wasn't expecting a response like that. I had no idea what to say. I expected this to be a quick, oh, I'm sorry, type of thing. But no. Yeah, and he's 4. He's just a child. My boyfriend chimes in at the same time as me. We're both repeat 3 times. We get it, he's 4. When she's still going on about how he's just a kid. The woman tells who we can assume is her husband what happened. I stopped paying attention after that because I felt so bad that maybe I did the wrong decision. My boyfriend later told me that her husband tried bumping into him on purpose and staring at him trying to fight. What? I wish the story had a conclusion, but alas, this is the end. It's a small experience, but still an entitled parent experience nonetheless. That's about it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, click or tap that like button and subscribe for more, and follow me on my Instagram, Blue Sky, and Patreon to support me. And also don't forget to turn on those post notifications too. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I'll see you all next time. Bye!